This is right at my house. This is really close to, this is like half a mile away from my house. We got a big black plume of smoke. We're gonna go look at it and see what's going on. This is right close to my house, folks. There's nothing but the public space that they call Diamond Flats. This is on the back of Snell Valley Ranch. And you're looking at it exploding in front of you. We live less than 1 mile away. It's right here. I'm actually gonna pack up all my stuff that's valuable this time. Okay, this is the scale of the valley. It's not that big of a valley. I'm gonna try and slow down and get you this, even though I actually need to go back. I'm here with kids and a hurt dog. We're miles out. This is a dead-end road with a neighborhood. At this end, the entrance is at this end. One road runs down this whole valley. There's flat plateau at the top of this. That's the Snell Valley Ranch. There's no structures there. All of us have hiked all over it. It's about to hit public land right up here. And the wind, unfortunately, is blowing it straight our way. You can see the owners here letting in the first firefighters. They're on the ATV, jamming that way full tilt. Something must have got out of control on them, or who knows how these things start. And then you got the big engines. You got a bulldozer here. Sorry, I'm shaking. And they're gonna go in as soon as they can. He's probably waiting to figure out if he needs to come this way and cut it farther. So you see the white trucks, those are the fire bosses. They're gonna go out there and get an eyeball on it directly. And if they need to, they'll shoot down this way and use the access roads and get in between it. And this range kind of dies out. There's a canyon down here and I live in that. If I'm gonna go back and cross my fingers. Okay. It looks like the bulldozers are gonna go down. So that means that they're getting, oh, you can see it, that means it's gone from grass to the pine trees, and it can go really fast at that point. See that black smoke that just came up? And the bulldozer is going farther down. It just got big and dark and black. I've seen this before. I've been out here way too many times now at the starts. In fact, the bulldozer just went past me towards my kids. I gotta go. Okay, sorry. I've been doing everything that you should be doing. So we have our valuables boxed. Whew. This one's right there. It's right there. It's burning Diamond Flats. The wind in this canyon picks up right now. Oh, people. I took my most valuables, but you gotta understand. I have one vehicle, I have 2 dogs, 3 cats loose, a bunch of chickens. I try and capture the cats, bring the dogs for sure, let the chickens out. Stuff the 2 kids that I have in my pickup with the 2 dogs. I just put the camper shell on there. And this is huge. You can see it before your eyeballs. And here's my yard. Here's my kids' sandbox. You've seen it. There's the scrub brush. I chiseled my yard out of that. And that goes all the way to there. You see how big that just got before your eyes? That's right there. That's not 20 miles away like some of these have been. It's insane. That's how close it is. It just probably dropped on top of Diamond Flats. We loaded up everything we can, but you see that the plume's coming at my house. You see how dark and big it is now. We're about to be covered. Ooh. Okay, you guys, there's going to be a point on this where I'm going to put the camera down because that's... Oh, God. You get the point, I'll be back in a little bit, okay? Hopefully from this location. That's our evacuation, we have to go. Hang on.
Move it. Okay, so my dad just got all the water on here. Wow, that's a lot of smoke. It goes up really high. It starts there, and it goes all the way up to like way up there. It's kind of black up there, and then it's lighter down there. Okay, I'm filming the smoke. Does it work like that? I don't think it does. Okay. We have a very nice vegetable crop. So I'm filming some smoke. It's kind of spread over there. You can't really see it a lot, but it's everywhere. Besides over there, that's all blue. This is our house. This is the last video we take of it. I saw my...
That's in Diamond Flats. I can hike there in 20 minutes on foot. They're about to dump on us, you realize that? They just doused that, and that looks 100% better. I sent the kids on. That looks way good. It is actually coming back now and flaring up, and now it's right on the other side of the hill. You can see it's moved all the way down. See that? So, for all mineral prospectors, there's a very... Take the upper road, buddy, for sure. I'm okay. Don't worry about us, okay? There's a lot of people in my state that have lost their homes, so pay attention to your omens. 1/4 mile this way, where this hill goes down to, that's actually the hill of a gorge. I live on a creek that runs out to it, and it tees into the river. So this is running into a river, and then there's all of Knoxville and the wildlands and public lands and crazy land beyond that. So if it jumps into there, it's gonna burn over to where it just did, over where I was just showing you in the previous video, up in Knoxville by Zemzem. One of the first 4 human beings at the Butts Canyon fire about 3 years ago that burnt all the way to a mile up in the valley. Basically where I was filming this earlier is where the flames stopped that time. and had gotten a call from a friend that was next door, and I was able to jump over the ridge here and help to save a structure but not stop the fire. And so it burnt all of the canyon. It burnt the property that you see me rebuilding in the Crescent Farms videos where I just finished the willow turret and all that. That was that fire. I was actually in the beginning, before there was a red truck or anything else. Been evacuated twice since, and I've seen how these go. So when they're in this thick stuff, they just hit a patch of digger pines like that. This is real time, not sped up. You see that? That can be a real bummer. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. Is that self-explanatory for you? Looks like things. Down into the campground. It's gonna burn literally where I weed whacked to hunt for more gold coins. It's burning less than a quarter mile away. I don't know if you can tell that. It's right there towards my house, and it's heading straight towards the river. I mean, the river runs north and south. Where it's running down to, it'll cut it off. Where I volunteer and other people volunteer, and it is I've spent the most energy that I ever have up here this year down there, so it's running into, I mean, I went off, I ground it down to a 1/4 inch tall, no joke. I took my blower down there, I raked, I did like burnt into the ground like you've seen in my dirt journal videos with the whips, and hopefully it will not cross the creek. That's my prayers, is that it'll get to the river, get to the purposeful fire breaks that we did. We shall see. You can see it's broken into like 2 pillars here. This one that looks like it's kind of coming straight towards my house. And this one is obviously in some trees. Here's the rest of the neighborhood down here that you can kind of make out. We're all on this side of the creek. And then this creek here runs out and tees into a big old river with gravel bars and everything. The one where the beach, it can't go backwards now. It can only come this way and then down into the water. This sucks. Let me tell you, this sucks. It's where I've been, is working, getting kids in school, and trying to catch up on everything. And you know how it goes. Our dog got shot this week, lived through it, but we were trying to nurse an injured, wounded dog back to health and everything else. So when it rains, it pours. First week of school. Let's evacuate. This is a real tenuous point here. Don't get me wrong though. It's burning down. See all the land on the far side. It's all on, you know, crazy ranch land and brush land. So we needed to You've seen it burn all the way across here. It's not getting wider, you can kind of tell by the plume. And hopefully it's going to burn down to the campground in the water and go out. So, even though it seems smaller now, remember that this started with some spark, some tiny thing that got out of control. And that is way more than that original thing. So it has all the ability. It has, what, 10,000 times the ability of that original spark to start this whole nightmare going off in any direction. So it's not out until it's out. By the time that you are reaching this video, I'm pretty much guaranteed safe. Oh, bird, what is going on with you? You've been around all day. I don't think it can fly. Its eyes are all messed up. Oh, Lord. Little bird. What kind of day is this? Oh, no. Sorry for the gore. They look bad, but they're just puffed up. It's just the skin. He's got something going on with his eyes. I'm not going to touch my face too much, but I'm going to take him to the Serrato animal vet tomorrow. Will be the plan. When it rains, it pours, okay? Here you go. This might be a good sign the dozers are leaving. So here's the road, the river that goes at the end of that, the rest of the neighborhood. Here's the fire burning towards it. And it's got to stop basically on some fire breaks that look like that down there. That curves around and then goes up the river. Does that make sense? That road goes out to the river and the river's running that way. And that column is moving right down there. So it's still expanding towards us a little bit. And it's getting to be sunset. And yeah, you can see the speed of the smoke moving through the trees there. This back pillar here now, that kind of concerns me. It's really black down here. It's hitting these big pine trees. That would be the only way that it could really jump the creek. It turns into a little firestorm here at the point. Hopefully not. It's gonna jump this river. It's really close. I can smell it. See it pushing at us. It's because it's pushing at this point. Like I said, it's trapped between the river and the creek that I live on. Incredible. Starting to smell pretty bad. Well, you can see how big and ugly that just got before our eyes. I don't know what that means. Except for maybe things aren't going well. Or maybe it's just being funneled down. But there's going to be a point here where I might boogie out. They're doing the same thing. They're down here hoping and praying that it doesn't jump across into this neighborhood. The reason why they built it here is because it's big and beautiful and has all the trees and everything. So you can see the ridge on the far side, and that's on the other side of the river. Ooh, you're kind of a monster right across from me. That much smoke going up in the air sucks a little bit too, because of all the stuff that can fall out of it, which is what we don't want. Mushroom clouds over your house is never good. Can that be a quote? You see it? That's a mushroom cloud. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Okay. Glad that's not a volcano, but it's not much better when you're standing under it watching it expand your way. God. And the glow that you can see right here is from fire. Sunset's over here to our left. There's sunset. That glow you see is fire trying to crest the hill. See it here? It's moved off the top again, but it means it's just in the backside of this hill. And keeping it drippy. But I don't see a big pillar moving past it. See how there's still light over there? You see the far range go that way, there's still light. I can hear the trees crackling. It's right up on us, you guys. Okay. Now it is getting a little smoky. I'm sure for my neighbors in the upper neighborhood, extremely so. And these planes are scrambling to try and stop this as it heads into a neighborhood at sunset. There it is, that red is the fire. That's what could come eat my home. Everybody's home. It's burning straight at my neighborhood. This has gone this way now, but it's right over the ridge. It's gonna probably... There's the flames, do you see them? I don't know if you're seeing that. Those are flames on the side of the hill across from my home in the campground. Yeah. What can I say? What can you say? Oh. Like I said, there's those lots, there's our one little road, and then the green you see of the creek. Out of the river, which is possible. There's some deep pools there, but that cable looked like they might have been dragging somebody out of somewhere. I've heard of that before. Oh, yeah, looks like this is gonna come all the way over at us now. And is burnt down to the point. Oh. So the structure you see here is the farthest out towards the fire in our neighborhood, and it has the width of the river and the gravel bed, and he's weed whacked his yard, and then I've done them all around this crescent here, and then there's a slope where the neighborhood is. And you can see there's the fire, there's the neighborhood. There's the fire. We're literally in the tall trees directly across. Hopefully it has not jumped. You can see, there they are. That's the farthest road. It goes straight downhill into the river there. This is still behind it here, but it's burnt down to this point. Like I said, I don't see that it has gone across the river, and it hasn't jumped across into our side. But look what my neighborhood is facing down. That's crazy. So I can guarantee you now, I'm right. It's burnt from Crystal Flats on the other side of this, all the way down. This is what the sky looks like. When you see smoke doing this, you know that it's about to crest over the hill at you too. See how fast it's moving? You see that? That's the thermal, that's the heat from the fire under it, pushing it that fast. And that is fast, folks. It's right over there too. I'm at the entrance of the neighborhood. It's a dead-end neighborhood, the bulk of it being down there, and I'm out here at the opening of it. So I'm actually the most safe person. There's only a few houses between me and the entrance of the whole place. That is making me nervous because it almost looks like it's jumped across the far ridge onto the Vasconi Ranch. Which I hope not. Here, it starts here, runs that way. We're built on the L of this creek where it tees into it. You can see the fire engines have a better scope on it. They're moving up to the top of the ridge. You see the flames kind of going away here in the front, so it's moved down. We have a point here, like I was saying, where the creek and the river come together. So hopefully it's pinching off, and the flames you see are these tallest trees that are only down by the water. So hopefully that's them and it's going to stop. This or something else. I believe this may have gotten across to the other side on us. Oh, you guys. I believe it made it to the other side. I'm not sure, but that looks like it's in my neighborhood. No. You see that right there? You see that? See those embers? You see that? Those are huge embers falling into, oh God. It's getting dark. There's the western sky. This is the eastern sky. That's directly east. Oh, that's my neighborhood. This is insane. That's the Berryessa Estates. We are on. Our back deck, and it came down massively in huge flames, and it crossed the river, and it looks like it climbed up the house, and I'm watching the flames about to eat the tennis court house that quick. It bloomed all the way to the flagpole again, and it's pillaring up there, so it might come all the way over the hill because the whole ridge is lit, but it actually, I have visible flames. I am pretty sure that that is, oh my God, the flames are like so tall and huge and red in our neighborhood. That's not, but those that climbed up there, I think it must have burnt down the far side, and it's not going to come back for me. That's how far into my neighborhood it's going. Those are all responders that you see going up to the top. That looks like it's on the far ridge. I can't really assess anymore after dark what ridges are burning or how much of my neighborhood is burnt. I just can't tell. We're gonna have to wait and just kind of find out with everybody else. Well, it 100%edly jumped the river. That's the far side of the river, the hills that lead up from it. It's cattle and ranch land leading up to some big old ranches out there. That looks like it's going to burn out towards Knoxville and be a big old forest fire. I can't really say if it burns into my neighborhood or not, although that right there looks like another flare up on my side. But it could be the ridge line just beyond it. It's really hard to tell. Really hard to tell. My mind is shot at this point from the could be's and the maybes and the ifs. I can't tell if it's in my neighborhood or not, but it sure looks like it. And I can see the flames. I can see the flames on the far side. But then up here, keep having flare-outs that look like they're on our side. There will be a point here where I'm gonna leave and trying to find some cats now. little flare-ups that you see going on there, trees catching and stuff. I see the rigs pulling off the hill, coming my direction now. So you can see it isn't laying down all the way for the night. It must have gone over that far ridge there. And who knows what it will do. I have to leave it now and turn my back on it and leave my house undefended. And they won't let me back in the neighborhood. And okay, there's a resurgence over here directly across from me, and you can see that that glow is about to go to flames again. Couple lessons here. I'm leaving the neighborhood. It's 12:30. I have everything that I can think to gather. There's a whole house of stuff, so whatever. There's people that have lost a lot probably tonight. Not sure. Everybody, you know, I'll be okay. I was just leaving my house though, and got up to what we call Dead Man's Corner. I know every town has one, and there was a convertible upside down, which I run into a lot out here. Not convertibles upside down, but people wrecked, and so I jumped out, and the guy was okay. He's got a head gash and some stuff going on, but it was making a lot of sense, and I checked him out as best as I know how, and I promised that he would go and get looked at and everything. Shout out to, you know, thank you to all the responders and everybody out there risking their lives. Hope everybody gets out of this safe. That's the most important part. All material things can be replaced. Good night. See you guys soon enough. Be safe out there.